I'm Dr. Joey Fawcett, coaching you to work faith positive and increase your faith with greater joy at work so you love God and others more. Do this when your work changes. Genesis 6:22 says Noah did everything God commanded him to do. So how do you respond when your work changes to something different? Do you have to think about it, see if it makes sense, talk with some trusted advisors? Or maybe you just do part of it, the part you like or the part that's easiest? Or do you just do it like Noah? God changed Noah's work big time. And what was his response? Genesis 6:22 says Noah did everything God commanded him to do. So how did Noah do that? And how do you work like Noah when your work changes? First, work different. Noah was an outstanding businessman in an upside down world. As far as God was concerned, in verse 11, we read the earth had become a sewer. Yet Noah was different. He was a good man, a man of integrity in his community, verse 9 tells us. The kind of guy you want to do business with because he kept his word. He did the right thing just because it was the right thing to do. Someone worth saving from destruction like a flood. So how do your customers or clients talk about you? Do they say you're different like Noah, a person of integrity with a due north moral compass? What about your team members? Do they know that you're in the world and yet not of the world, that you're different? Everyone who knows you through your work notices your behavior. Is it different from the rest of the world's sewer? Work different, like a Christian business person with integrity. Secondly, deflate your ego. Noah avoids questioning God when work changes, as he goes from farmer of crops and critters to carpenter and zookeeper. The scriptures never describe him as having a conversation with God like, now, God, are you sure about this? I like farming my crops and critters, and I'm providing a nice living for my family. The boys work with me, and we all get along most of the time. Are you sure about this, God? Your first response may be to question God when your work calling changes, as if you know more about what's best for you, or as in Noah's case, more about what's best for the world. Your ego jumps up and in as if you can change God's work. Noah deflates his ego, remembers that God is God, the creator of all that is, and that Noah is not. That's easy to forget at work today, especially if you're successful at all. You believe your own press clippings, think you're all that and a bag of chips. Work different like Noah. Deflate your ego. It's not that you think less of yourself. It's that you think less about yourself. Third, do the details. Notice that Noah did everything God said, not just the parts he liked. I mean, what if he'd said, you know, God, I'm not a fan of snakes, so I'm going to leave them outside the ark to drown. I mean, today we'd be overrun with mice, right? Instead, Noah did it all, down to the very last detail. And God gave him some very specific instructions. The dimensions of the ark are exact. The pairing of animals is detailed. You may work in uncertainty at times, wondering what God wants you to do. And yet, what do you do when God gives you all the details for your work's change? Do you do them all exactly? When God changes your work different like Noah and work with integrity. Deflate your ego and do the details God gives you. Your faith increases as you do with greater joy at work, and you love God and others more as you work faith positive in a negative world. Coaching you to work faith positive, I'm Dr. Joey Fawcett.
Get your free sample chapters of Dr. Joey's #1 Amazon bestseller, Faith Positive in a Negative World, at getpositive.today/faith-positive.